Very warm welcome to you, Bubblegum. You all know I respect you and I love you as my own family. Every single one of you. There is a bull market coming for crypto. There's going to be a lot of tears. A lot of tears. Crying and depression. People are going to get crushed because they're going to get disappointed. There are going to be top signs that are appearing, except they will appear much earlier than everybody expects, and they will appear with portfolios much smaller than everybody was dreaming. So I'm going to ask you this. I want you to succeed. I'm going to ask you this question, okay? Think about this. Who actually cares more about you? The person like me who's telling you to dramatically increase your crypto position size? I'm telling you to buy in the depression. Buy. You got to buy now. You got to buy now. Shaking. Literally, this chair, this squeaky chair. There's no more squeaks left in it. Do I care about you if I tell you to buy more? Or what about the other person? What's the other people telling us to do? The other people are saying, you're going to go 300x. Other people are saying, leave your $3,000 in there. You're definitely going 300x. It is disgusting and shameful that you would suggest we don't go 300x. 100x. 100% we're going to go 300x. That's what everybody's saying. But I want you to think about who actually cares about you. The person who's telling you to prepare, or the person who's saying, nah, it's going to be golly gee, we're going to go, we're so good, we're so great. Who actually cares? Think about that. What do you want to hear? What do I want to hear? Okay? What as humans, we want to hear this second person, okay? This second person. We want someone to tell us, say, hey, you know what? You know your little $3,000? That's a winning lottery ticket. I know it's just a lottery ticket today, but it's actually a winning lottery ticket. And it's definitely going 1 to 300x plus. So you just got to leave it in there. And then you might ask this person, are you sure? What if it doesn't? Should I increase my bag size? They go, oh yeah, and you should always get more, but you don't really need to because it's going 100 to 300x. Of course. That's what they say. What am I saying? I'm saying, you know what? I think everybody thinks they've got a winning lottery ticket, and I know markets, and I know speculation, and I know the wisdom of the crowd, and I know the psychology of the crowd. And let me tell you something. In 24 months from now, we are not going to be seeing everybody as millionaires. I can guarantee you this. If there's one thing in life I can guarantee you, it's that. It's going to look like there's a lot of people getting in it and on the way, but it's not going to happen. Never happens. The insiders know how to manipulate the people. Fear and greed. You got to think about who actually cares about you. The best part is I get asked this question, friends. You know, I have a wide community here. Thank you very much, friends. We love them wide. We love them deep. And I want you to know, every single one of you, all these videos for you. I get asked pretty frequently. People say to me, wow, how are you talking to so many people with the confidence that your edge will not go away? Well, let me tell you something. You don't even know what my edge is. I will tell you this right now. I can, like photographic memory, I can draw for you the influencers, the numbers of followers they had, what they were saying, what they were doing at each extreme of the crypto cycle. All right? The bottom, the top, the bottom here, the top here, right before the zombie virus crash, the DeFi up here, Doge Mania. I can tell you every single thing. And I can tell you, especially down here at the bottoms as well, I can tell you how it all fell apart. And I can tell you this. I can go back in history with you as well, and I can show you how the crowd starts to price in the future better and better, and we get less euphoria waves, which means less pumps, which means there are less suckers for everybody to dump on, which means if you don't buy a big position, you're the sucker. You're just like everybody else. You put your little $3,000 in and everybody's telling you 100x, 300x is coming. Let me tell you this, right? In 2015 to 2017, we had the biggest crypto alt season of all time. Everybody believed that was the start of all the bull market seasons from then on. We never even came close remotely to 2017 mania. That was when actually crypto went mainstream. The low to the top of the total crypto market cap went 367x. Enormous. The entire industry from the bear market, Mt. Gox Ponzi to the top, 367x. Now, you would think after getting more mainstream, after it's easier to buy, after people understand it more, after all these things, macroeconomics, interest rates, QE, money printing, you would think after all these, we would do better than simply 32x in the next cycle. That's a 90% drop off more. Why? Has anybody thought why? You have. That's why I make all these videos here to show you. Thank you very much, friends. You like, subscribe, bell button, or share with your friends and family. I go through this and I tell you, there are cycles and there are curses. And as you increase the number of cycles for the coin you're in, for the asset you're in, you start entering cursed territory. There is no crowd with giant euphoric expectations anymore. You can even see this with the Bitcoin price. People's Bitcoin prices, now they're 100K. Sure, they might go to 1 million every now and then. They weren't like that before. Everyone knows. I mean, Bitcoin is what, 30,000? They're dreaming of a 3x. They're so focused on that number. The crowd gets better every single wave. This is how speculation works. They call it the meta. M-E-T-A. It's like the meta game. If you have ever played any RPG games or you've played any strategy games, first-person shooters, if you played them competitively, you'll know there are different seasons that appear in the games. And even when you're playing against other humans, someone will do a cool trick and it gets popular. Someone will use a different method to win the game and then it kind of like morphs in itself. And then you'll find out in the next year or two, someone makes a new pattern that's cool. Someone makes a new discovery. This is what markets are like. It's exactly the same thing. So, are you being exit liquidity? Most of the time, yes. Because you'll notice everybody still latches on to the past. They'll say, well, 100x, 300x. Let me tell you something, all right? Every single crypto cycle has had diminishing gains. Give me one good reason why this next fourth cycle won't be diminishing gains. I'd like to hear one good reason from anybody. I'd love to show you. All right, we could not even escape the diminishing gain curse when we had infinite QE, 0% interest rates, and negative 16 trillion out there in bonds. That's right. There was 16 trillion in negative yielding bonds, literally losing money. 16 trillion out there saying, we are in such a bad place, we're allocated to losing money. It still didn't even get tempted to buy Bitcoin. It still couldn't push it up. So I'd like to ask you, why are we going to go parabolic in this one now? We've already gone parabolic. What we don't know is, or we do know now, I mean, even getting a 3x, you should be happy. The S&P 500 is giving you on average 7%. So I still have the higher dreams. Maybe by the end of 2030, we finally do get to the glorious 9 trillion, 10 trillion, 15 trillion. I would love to see that. But you know, you can't deny this fact. It's true. We are diminishing. We are slowing down. So does that mean we roll over and die and we say no one wins? No, there is a way to win. I've already told it to you, okay? The way to win is listen to your friend telling you you got to increase your bag size. You can't listen to this person telling you, don't listen to anybody else. This is going to go 100x, 300x. How do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know anything. Let me tell you something about speculation, all right? In speculation, it's a hard game. You're always in the shadows. One, you're fading the crowd, so everyone's calling you stupid. So it's going against our natural instinct because we want to feel accepted in a tribe. So when people in the tribe are telling you you're stupid, you automatically think you're wrong. You feel bad. No one wants to keep feeling bad all the time. But someone like me, I want to win, and I'm here to share with you how to win. So do you care about feeling good or bad today, or do you actually want to win? If you want to win, you're going to make it. Now, here's another thing. Secrets of the crowd's mistakes are found in the past. This is what I actually spend all my time figuring out. I figured it out all for you already. All right, I've done all the work. Not selling you leverage trading exchanges, come buy, short, not doing any ICO pump dumps. I don't care. I'm here to tell you, you can learn from the past so that you win in the future. And what does that entail? You know what that entails? You find out what everybody expects going forward. You have to be independent. You have to be neutral. You can't have any of your preconceived notions. As soon as you have that, you're finished. You're toast. You're toast. If the crowd is expecting a 10x, I'm sorry, you already know it's over. It's over. If the crowd, the dumb money are expecting 10x, you're like, uh-oh, you're not getting much out of this. Because there's either two worlds. There's a 10 in here. You're either getting like your 5 or maybe you're getting your 100. So you better be right on the 100 case. You better be able to see the path in your mind that the 100 case is possible. And you know, you can protect yourself against that. You leave a moon bag. You just have a stack where you're like, I'm not getting out no matter what. I'm getting out in 2 years. That's how you can protect against that. Except there's one problem. A lot of people will say, they say, well, if everyone expects 100x on every altcoin, go to every single altcoin, every single layer 1 chain, everything, everyone's expecting a couple of 100 billion valuation. Every single one, layer 2s, layer 1, all layer 1 chains. You got to think for yourself when it comes to this one. If everyone's expecting 100x, what's it going to take to be the 1000x? Do you see it? Because clearly, the amount of money that needs to come in, it's not going to be hiding. It's going to be like a giant tsunami. You're going to have so much time to get in. Do you see it? Do you smell it? You might see some money coming in. You might hear of Blackrock, right? You think this is going to be interesting, friends. Blackrock, you're going to hear $9 trillion. Here's the problem. The problem is, what they don't tell you is people only buy with 1%. People only buy with 1%. So when they say there is 9 trillion coming in, that's a lie. It's the people's net worth is 9 trillion, which means if they allocate 1%, it's only a $90 billion buy. You think 90 billion, that's not exciting. Yeah, that's why they don't write that number. Think about this yourself. If you had a $1 million portfolio, you got some stocks, you got some property, you got some bonds, you got some cash, you're worth 1 million. As a person who has not bought Bitcoin or crypto for the past 15 years, you weren't an innovator, early adopter, early majority, or late majority with Michael Saylor and Elon Musk. Now you're a skeptic. How the hell do you expect this person to even put 200K in, 20%? They're not going to do it. They're going to put 1% in. That's $10,000. Yes, we are super bullish. Yes, I'd go all in. But these people are not us. These people take their time. They were able to not feel the FOMO before. What makes you think they're going to go, you know what, I've got $1 million now. I better put $1 million into Bitcoin. Some of them might actually do that, but the majority of the crowd isn't. It's going to be between 1 and 3% allocation. So this is going to be 90 billion to 270 billion. I'd like to ask you something, right? Bitcoin at 200K is 4 trillion. Bitcoin at 200K means Ethereum is at 20 to 30K. That is 2 to 3 trillion. So now we already have 7 trillion there. And the altcoin dominance is like 30%. You got to add an extra third to that. Now you have $9 to $10 trillion. Now, I hope we get there. I hope crypto adds enough value for them to come and push our bags up. But this is the world you're talking about. So when people come and tell you you're getting 100x, that's the world we're talking about. So I want to see that. But that is a lot of money. That's a lot of money to come in. There are waves. There are big dips. There are crashes along the way. We can't go parabolic anymore. There are too many people with big bag sizes. The crowd gets better at euphoria. You already know this. No one, you see the crowd's estimates? See what this peanut is, friends? The crowd is not the average crowd. The average influencer, they don't have a target of $800,000 Bitcoin, which is what I wish they did. I wish they did, because then you can sell it to 250. They don't have a target of 800,000. They've gotten better at their estimates. Everyone remembers the turmoil from 2021. Their targets are now 120. 120. I have the proof here for you. This was literally made in 15 seconds. I didn't even have to go long and fast. There's over 25 influencers, by the way. YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. Okay? 120K. 120K. Is Bitcoin going over 100K? 100K, 100K, 120K. 120K again. This is just a few of them, okay? Just a few. There are like, I haven't even scratched the surface. Minimum 120K. 100K. So that's why I'm telling you, most people aren't going to make it. But I've reminded you, I care about you so much, I'm telling you, we can win the game. You got to get what the crowd expects. And then you got to drop it. And that is where you're going. The good thing is, we are still early. Crypto moves parabolic off the floor if it's going to continue to succeed. So there is a chance to keep increasing your bag size. But I'm telling you right now, these people, they are going to drink the sweet waters of euphoria at the Bitcoin top because they're going to believe it's just getting started. It's just getting started. They will refuse to exit the trap. They're going to beg for 100K. I hope we get 100K, friends. I hope we do. But it's such a beautiful round number. Why would the insiders give us 100K so everybody sells? Everyone's getting out at 100K, and I mean everyone. And you know, there's some smarty pants people. I'm here to teach you. They said to me, well, I'll sell at 90. I'll sell at 95. The insiders, they don't let it get near there. They don't even let it get remotely around there, okay? They don't let you get 90. They know people are going to get there too, okay? You can't convince people to buy at 90K, okay, if the target is 100. You can't convince people to buy there. So the insiders, they don't wait for 90K to let it get there. They're going to let it get to, so maybe there's 100K. Let's go back to the chart here, right? Let's zoom in. The insiders, right? If you're planning some evil mastermind, at 100K, look how close it is. You think they're just going to let people sell here while they'll sell here? No, there's not enough buyers here. There's not enough retail to actually take it up there. You need to raise the target. We need to get the average crowd to believe in 400K. So if it's 12 months from now, if we're in August 2024 and everybody is talking about $400,000 Bitcoin, I'll be like, you know what? I think that's pretty sweet. If I can see enough of the crowd, enough of not just one person, the majority of the crowd believe in $400,000 Bitcoin, I think we can get our 150 and we're done. But if everybody stays at 100K to 120K, we ain't getting our 400. Good luck. What the insiders will do is at that 100, see, there's going to be people who are going to be leverage buying altcoins and everything else. At 100K, they're just going to be getting out. I'm not even joking. They'll be selling at 60, 65, 70, 75, that early. They will be doing that. And it's funny. I mean, I don't even need to give you any evidence because the chart is the evidence itself. Look where 100K was on the chart here. Where was F2 Pool? Where were all the insiders who knew that China was going to ban Bitcoin? Where were they selling? F2 Pool was selling. F2 Pool, the Chinese scum miner, 40,000 Bitcoin dumped there. They knew. They knew China was going to ban Bitcoin. They all started dumping early. They knew before the narrative. Okay? This was not told in the charts before that. They just knew. They knew, oh, everyone's thinking of 100K? I don't think so. I'm getting out at 30. I'm getting out at 40. I'm getting out at 50. We ran out of buyers. So, you know, it's amazing. I can share this with you, friends, because I already know. Look, for every 1,000 people, every 1,000 people that watch, I know the action rate. The action rate is about 1%. It's about 10 people. So, yes, I know for every 1,000 people, I'm actually speaking to 10 people. Thank you very much. Welcome. 10 people are going to act. 10 people want to win. All right. What's also interesting, when we get to the top, okay, so if you go look at surveys at the top here, right, 70 to 80% believed in higher. Literally 80%. Okay, that means only 20% of people made it when you think about it. 20% of people. Unfortunately, those 20% of people, they didn't even really make it because this is why. They knew the party was over. Problem is, they did not think the party would be over this soon back in 2019 and 2020. So their bags weren't packed hard enough. So for all we know, many of them on the way down lost it in leverage trading. Many of them probably bought the dip. Many of them probably rebought Bitcoin at 40K. They sold at 60, bought back at 40. Or maybe they bought back at like 20K, then they sold down at 15. I know some people did that. So yes, on one hand, it looks easy. Like, okay, I'm just going to be in the top 20%. That's why I'm speaking to 1,000 people. 10 are actually going to make it and pack their bags right now. Only 1%, friends. That's why only 1% of people make it, right? You got to think about what you're actually doing here. So only 1% of people will do both of these actions, right? Which is one, buy an enormous position for themselves, right? Relative based to your income and how much time you invested. So buy an enormous position for themselves in the bear market, lows. So just buy lows, buying low, right? And then two, exiting at euphoria no matter what the portfolio number says. Okay? Only 1% of people are actually going to get this right. You got to think how hard it is to do that. You don't need to pick the exact bottom and you don't need to pick the exact top. Nowhere near. It's just that you got to accept no matter how low that number is for us, we got to get out. Okay? Now that's why I want you to think again about people saying 100x. Because I already know people talking about 100K. People talking about 100K, 200K, 300K. We were all saying, you're telling me with all these infinite QE, money printing, we can't even get 100K? That's ludicrous. That's stupid. You don't know anything about macro. That's what everybody was saying, myself included. Wrong. Okay, wrong. And then I realized something here. I was like, uh-oh, the buyers have run out. Okay, so yes, on the way up, I thought, well, surely we've got to go 100K. We have to go at 100K. We didn't. Okay, if only I had a friend like myself who could go back in time and tell me in the bear market that yes, even though what you think is a big position, it's actually not a big position because crypto is not going to go as high as you think it's going to go. So whatever your position is, you probably got to triple it. And if you really want to be safe, you 10x it. But I know that's very hard for people. If you have like $5,000 to go to 550, almost impossible. At least try to double or triple it. At least try. Just try. You don't have to, just try. Do whatever you can. Do whatever you can to max every single cent. Because the crowd's going to let us down. The crowd's going to be disappointed. So that's why I'm telling you, I don't know what total altcoin portfolios are going to look like at this point. I don't know. I don't even know if we're going to make it this far. Maybe we're not even destined there. Maybe we just go down. Who knows, right? I don't know. But if we make it this far, we're still alive and kicking. You have to be prepared. If your portfolio says from today, it's up 20x, but you're expecting 100, you got to think about this. It's not going to give you 20x for 3 months. It's going to give you 20x for like 1 week. Okay, just like up here. Look up here, friends. You see this? See up here? 1 week. Here you go. 1 week. You literally, out of 365 days of that year, 365 days, all right, you have about 10 days to get out near the top. Near the top. 10 days. Near impossible to pick. Near impossible. So if you are hyper-focused on this magical unicorn number, we're going to go to 100x, we're going to go 300x, trillions are going to come in and they're all going to buy my bags. If you're hyper-focused on that, unfortunately, well, we've got to go back. I've got to show you. If it stops and you don't get out and you haven't been getting out, Bitcoin goes down from that point 50%. Altcoins are down 70%. So yeah, you know, if it stops at 20 to 30x, let's say it goes to 30x and you're wrong and it drops, your next stop is a 5x and you're not going to get out there. And then now you see how everybody continues into the next cycle. And that's how we have millions and millions of bag holders. But if you're getting out before then, if you are buying in the depression, if you're listening to someone like me, your friend who's actually telling you the crowd sucks, the crowd gets everything wrong, most likely the crowd is underexposed right now and they're going to be overexposed up the top. Why are they underexposed right now, friends? This is what you got to think, right? My final message for you. How is the crowd underexposed in all of the altcoins and the bags we have? How are they underexposed if crypto is going to keep growing? Well, you can reverse engineer the answer. We can go back. You go, okay, the crowd always loses and they're full of retailers and they always get things wrong. We know they're underexposed, so let's look at what they expect. And now you know they expect 120K in Bitcoin. They expect 100x in most of the altcoins. So you're like, uh-oh, if they're underexposed today, you got to look at your exposure. So what would actually make everybody the right exposure? That's why I think whatever everybody thinks, divide it by 3 or divide it by 5. That would be a good number. If everybody expects a 100 on average, I think a nice number, expect 30. Wouldn't that be great? And even if you don't get it 100% right, I want you to remember you will be significantly better off than everybody else. Look at this example, friends. When Bitcoin was like 8,500, okay? When Bitcoin was 8,500 and everyone was expecting 100K, you got to think from 8,500 to 100K, you get a 12x, all right? 12x up here. That's what everyone was expecting. Imagine you saw this survey. You could go back in time. Now I've given you the knowledge, the wisdom, the friendship, the kindness. Now you're wearing your fluffy slippers and you say, everyone's expecting 12x. I'm going to expect 4. Where would it land you? All right. 8K goes up to 32K. And of course, like I said to you, I'm not telling you as soon as it hits there, sell everything. I'm just telling you now, at least you are looking at this zone, right? You are looking at this zone not with the belief that the bull market's just starting, but you're looking at this zone saying, uh-oh, we are now in a risky area. And now we become hyper-focused. Now we go, okay, Peter Schiff is bullish. Jim Cramer's calling for 300K Bitcoin. Coinbase IPO. You're going to start to see these signals not as reasons to be long, but reasons that the party could be ending. Not will end, but it's potentially ending, okay? So now, you've learned a lot today, friends. I respect you. You're always welcome here. But I'll tell you right now, I don't care how many people try to tell me otherwise. We know already, okay? The majority of the crowd is going to lose. And the majority of the crowd expects 100x in all the altcoins. So I'll tell you right now, it's not going to end pretty. But it will for us, because we get our friendship and we know exactly what to do. We are playing this game years before they even know that a game was being played in the first place. Catch you in the next one, friends.